Good day to all the aviapreneurs listening to us today. This is Adnan Baranbo, and this is a new episode of AVIAPRENEURS podcast. My guest for today is from Mexico. He's living in Dubai, and he has more than 17 years of experience in the aviation industry. He started his career with many aviation services. Then he worked for many of the world's most reputable aviation organizations, FlyMix, JetX Flight Support, and Jet Club. Till he recently, in 2020, he started his own aviation startup, Luxe, which is providing private jet charter solutions and which has offices and presence in all the 6 continents of the world, in Dubai, Mexico, Miami, Morocco, London, and Hong Kong. Good day, Gabriel Madrid. Thank you for joining me today.
Good day, my friend. How are you?
Thank you very much. I appreciate your time and interest to talk to the aviapreneurs who are following this podcast.
My pleasure.
We're gonna start with Luxe. Luxe is your new startup, which is very fast growing. We all know that for passengers to fly privately, they have 3 methods of flying. They have full ownership, fractional ownership, and charter. You came with a new method of private flying. You call it Invictus Partnership. Can you share with us your vision and your idea behind this new method of private jet flying?
Of course. So after some years of being in the industry, I understood that most of the customers, regardless of the wealth that they have accumulated, they're super smart. They're always trying to make the best way and flying the most cost-effective way possible. So we found a gap even during and after COVID of passengers that were keen on having their own business jets, or they were keen on just flying private to avoid all the queues and the hassle of flying commercial, but they were very, very keen to put down $40 million down just to get their own private jet. So what we came up with is the best of 2 very, very important worlds in the business aviation. 1, the fractional ownership, and 2, the jet card. So we just merged the both of them. So we dedicate an aircraft, which Luxe will do an operating lease on, and then we merge both of the programs, giving just 4 dedicated partners the usage of a single aircraft, getting access to 150 hours with guaranteed availability.
Guaranteed availability. Does this mean they can fly whenever they want?
They just have to give us 72 hours to make the magic happen, and then they'll fly all around the world.
And they can fly any type of aircraft, or it's going to be an aircraft, the same aircraft dedicated to them?
Yeah, so all the partners sign up with Global 6000 XRS of 5000, and then we have to give them a similar or better. I mean, sometimes we had partners flying in amazing PBJs, ACJs, or lineages, because we have to commit to award.
Wow, that's very interesting. So they actually don't own the airplane itself. They just have the right to fly it.
No, the way that I would say is that they own the capacity of the plane. Mm-hmm. So there's obviously, we put the aircraft in the market and we do some ad hoc charters for the empty legs, which is great. But in this model, we don't exhaust the plane. We literally use it just for 4 partners. And obviously the owner is happy because the partners are vet. Everybody's happy because there's no, the regular wear and tear, but nothing very major.
And how much investment they have to make? How much financial commitment they have to do in order to be part of the program?
So this is actually this is one of the key points that we thought before launching the program. They can join us with as little of $600,000. The whole program enters into $1.8 million, which is 150 hours or $12,000 per hour. And they can exit the program anytime.
So will they get refund if they decide to exit?
Definitely. Obviously, I will be very sad to see them go. And most importantly, as a startup, we want to know why they want to go. We want all the feedback, the good, the bad, and the ugly, just to always improve.
Absolutely. But can you, I still have one point which is not very clear to me about the program, which is the difference between this partnership, Invictus, am I pronouncing it right? Invictus partnership and the jet card. How is it different from the jet card?
So a jet card, you will deposit an amount and then you will get deducted. the type of aircraft that you use, and it just goes, it just flies as it goes. Invictus, you will only get deducted on the flying hours. Number one, you get the or the guaranteed availability, and then number three, you're allocated to an aircraft, which means that you will not be left out. We don't oversell the overcapacity of the aircraft. We don't try to always, just we manage the partners in the best way possible so that they can always have access to the fleet.
Very interesting. Very interesting. And how is the reaction of the market? How is the response?
We launched in November last year, this program. And 7 months later, we have 19 partners.
That's very interesting. That's very good rate of acquisition, of customer acquisition, indeed.
The thing is, we also want, the Invictus partnership has two sides, right? You have the partners that are becoming or owning the capacity of the program, and then you have the Invictus patron. The Invictus patron is the person that will sponsor or that will launch the program, putting an aircraft into the capacity of the fleet. So this person will get also all the main attraction of owning an aircraft, but at the least cost possible, because Jetlux will guarantee the cost per hour of 5,950 per hour. And then the owner will get all the benefits, the profit, the reserves, everything.
And these 19 partners you mentioned, they are from all over the world?
Yeah, so we have partners from Vietnam, China, Saudi Arabia, India, Europe, US. It's all around the world.
So that's the reason you needed to have offices in all the continents of the world.
Well, we know that there's customers all over the place. So it was very easy for me to, after traveling so many years, to just contact my old friends and say, look, I'm starting a company. Let's just do this. Let's just make it happen.
Very interesting. I'm sure they appreciate that. But from your point of view, do you own the airplane or do you lease it?
No, the way that we operate is that we will concentrate aggressively on the commercial. We will focus on customer service, obsessively being super attention to detail. And in that way, we will give it to the best operators in the world so that they can concentrate in safety and compliance. So in this case, we've been operating with two companies. Right now it's Hyperion, Elite Avia, and Black Eagle. And these three companies have been mostly dedicated to do compliance and safety. That's how we are working on.
So you have no plans to have your own AOC in the future. You will focus on the marketing and commercial and the sales while you leave, and the customer service while you leave the actual operation to the specialized operators you mentioned, which are all reputable.
We've found that this is a very nice formula because it allows me to concentrate on the customers while it allows the AOC holder to concentrate on compliance and safety. Absolutely.
And for the operators, they have guaranteed business from your side.
100%.
So who's your target market? What is the profile of the customer, of the partner for Invictus partnership? Anybody?
So I don't think it's anybody because flying 150 hours a year, that means that pretty much you're outside your home 6 months, more or less, right? So it's not anybody, it's not everybody. However, customers that are coming to us our customers that previously owned aircraft and they were happy owning an aircraft, but they were not happy owning the headache of the AOGs and the crewing and the fuel and everything else. So they are super happy coming with us, and then they just realize that they just can give us a phone call and everything is set, and it's super easy. Customers that have the requirements of just standardizing their service because now they want to know that they can call our customer experience manager and she knows everything about them, all the profiling, all their family, all their passports, everything is set the way that they want. Our flight ambassadors will go with them, even if it's a sub-charter that we have to do for the guaranteed hours. So they always have a familiar face, greeting them at the airport. And they have a controlled environment. So we see customers that used to own aircraft, customers are looking into, flying and have businesses all around the world. And also we see customers that are new to the aviation industry that just started doing this now because of COVID or something else. And now they just get used to it. They found all the benefits about it and they just can't get enough. And obviously service is always key.
Actually, you're right at the time of starting this startup, JetLux, because this is a time where everybody, even the hesitants, realize how much beneficial is flying privately.
Yes. Yes, I mean it happened in a very crucial time. I wasn't really thinking about it, to be honest. I remember a couple of mentors and friends, you know, previous colleagues telling me, Gabriel, are you sure this is the right time? And you know, for me, it was just how life happened. We took the decision, and honestly, it was the best decision ever.
So, what make you make the move from working for corporates to you work for some amazing companies that nobody even think of leaving to work for? What make you make that move?
I had a daughter, and that's how life changed. You know, I stopped thinking in 5-year term and I started thinking in 30, 40-year term. And then I thought about leaving her a legacy, and that's how I thought about moving.
So you're not only leaving her a legacy, I think also you are giving her an example that she should start something and make it successful like her father.
Thank you very much. Of course, that's what I'm gonna try. And obviously, it's very kind for you to mention. But yes, I mean, I had very good mentors, you know, Vishal and Adnan Mardini from JetX. They both were very supportive. They both helped me a lot, and they teach me a lot, you know, even today. So I cannot regret all the support of the family, of the team, you know, everybody in the company. They put, you know, all the heart into everything they were doing. And we always have this mantra of making it happen. So it's amazing how things have progressed. Obviously, you can't do this alone. And we have the right people. It just happened at the right time. And we're very, very thankful for that.
Actually, I admire you mentioning Vishal and Adil. I already had the opportunity to talk to Vishal before, and I look forward to talking to Adil in the future. But I really admire entrepreneurs and aviapreneurs who give the credit for their mentors in the past and the CEOs and leaders they have worked for. I don't like when someone starts a company and cut all the ties with the previous company, because they used to live together for a long time and they have the good, the bad, and the ugly. But this is a shared life they should recognize and acknowledge and give the credit for in the future. So I really admire that from you.
No, thank you. But also that's one of the things that we learned during COVID, right? We are partners, we're friends. I'm customer, then sometimes they are customers, and we try to make things work for the end user. And during COVID, we learned that collaboration makes us stronger as an industry. And you know, that's how we should always pair each other to make sure that the end user gets the best service, and we also try to improve our services. So that's
absolutely. So when you don't have partners flying, you also do private jet charter brokerage, right?
That is correct.
Mm-hmm. Very interesting. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. So the three arms of the company are like this. We do aircraft management, we do the Invictus partnership, which is kind of like a fractional ownership, and we do charter brokerage. And all the team around the world has been super busy. We see tremendous growth in Americas. We launched the company in January, and month after month we're growing, probably like 300%. The Asia Pacific entity also was set up, I think, last year, mid last year, and we have to double the staff already. And obviously the HQ, which is here in the Middle East, I think when we started, we had a small office of 1-2 desks, and today we just can't get enough. We're almost 40 staff here in UAE, and it just keeps growing.
Amazing. Actually, we're based in the same area. We're both in the JLT. The background of both of us are the same. These skyscrapers, beautiful skyscrapers.
I love it. Yes,
definitely. So you mentioned the very high growth, 300% months per month about the company, and that you provide private jet charter brokerage also. We all know that private jet charter brokerage is somehow dominated with some few firms like the big three, Chapman Freeborn, Air Charter Service, and Air Partner, besides some other prestigious ones. But the majority of charter brokers around the world are small operation. Mom and dad business, couple of brokers, or sometimes single broker. So how could you, this late in launching, this late in, at the time, but brokerage industry has been for decades.
Yeah.
Yes. How could you that fast to grow to have 40 plus staff in less than 2 years?
I would have to say luck, number one. Great partners, great team. But most important, as I mentioned, we concentrate heavily in customer service. We have concierge staff based out of Hong Kong, based out of Dubai, based out of Mexico to cater to all the needs of the regional customers. And the reason that we did this is because we understand that number one, this business is all about relationship. And number two, we have to excel in customer service. There's no way that we can compete with ACS, for instance. The buying power that they have, the knowledge, the training, it's incredible company. However, we can obviously concentrate in customer service. Make sure that everything is tailor-made. Make sure that the customer is always with a smile. Make sure that even our employees are also happy, because we also found out that being a broker 24/7 in any of these companies is literally 24/7. What we're trying to accomplish here is that we separate the flight following, the customer service, the catering from the actual sales, and then not literally separating, but one responsibility of the following relies on the customer service team, the concierge team. That allows the sales team to take a break, relax a little bit, and then go after the next customer. While the service is not left intact, it's always excelling. So that was key. I found that most of our customers, sometimes in the beginning, they're like, but I'm used to just speaking to one guy. But when they realize that it's a seamless transition and the customer is and the team is always in communication, everything is in the same platform. They know all the information, everything is there. Everybody knows everything. They just let it go, and then they realize that it's for the best.
I like this organizational structure. It's very interesting how you made it.
Obviously, technology was a big part of it, to be honest. I mean, everything that we did from the beginning, because we were trying to do a fintech company, but in the end, everything turned around, and then we realized that we had an amazing setup to do operations. So the customer service team and the sales team, they are all integrated into one place. The communication is flowing. Obviously, now I'm going crazy because I just see all these channels and all this communication, and I can see everything. But at the same time, it's super nice to see how everything is growing. But I have to thank them because they're always on point.
Definitely, we thank them all too from our side. So you're telling me that you changed the business model of the company. When you started it, it was supposed to be a fintech company, and then it became private jet flying service provider.
Yes, when we started, I wanted to, after working with all the around the world with JetX, I found that there was always this, friction when you had a customer trying to make a payment in RMBs in Hong Kong, but your supplier, you had to make a payment in euros, flying out of Nice. And it was time sensitive. You had only 24 hours to make this happen. The only way to make this work is to put a credit card down that has $500,000 worth of credit, but then you also have 3 other transactions for the same amount. It was too complicated, and it still is. I thought that we could come up with a solution that was obviously integrating all the marketplaces, was integrating the operational softwares, and then just making the technology work for the best, for the broker, for the end user, removing all the friction and making obviously the operations safer, because then you get the payment and then everybody can concentrate on permits, on catering, on service, and so on and so forth. However, Paynode launched an amazing service. It's great. It's very seamless. It's integrated with Avinode. It's integrated with Leon, with Skylex, with Flex. So it's super easy. And amount of investment that is required to do this, my partners, they were very interested. But when they saw this, they told me, Gabriel, what are you going to do? Payno just launched this amazing software, and what are you going to do? I was a little bit, disappointed, because obviously we invested a lot of time in developing a software, a platform, everything in-house, database, services, integration of communication. But they were also very interested to see how I develop all this software, all this program, and then at the same time, they were very happy to see how I was treating their services, because both of them had aircraft under their arm. They had assets. So they were like, look, Gabriel, don't get too disappointed. I think this is a signal, this is a sign for you to change business model, because we're extremely happy when you manage our planes. We're extremely happy with the operations. We're extremely happy with the service. So why don't you just move in that direction and make it cost effective for us? Make the asset work for us, instead of us having to pay every day for cost and crew and then insurance, and then it's all the operating costs that sometimes it's just a burden. So that's how we changed business model, and it worked for the best.
Wow, these are amazing investors. Actually, everybody wants to have investors like this, who are well informed and who are very supportive in times of crisis.
They are super supportive, and honestly, I can't thank them enough, because also they've been advising me all the way. When I started the company, it was just me and my brother managing each half of the world. He's based out of Mexico, I'm based out of Dubai. I would work for 16 hours. We overlap a little bit, handover, then he would take over, handover, and so on and so forth. So it was great. It was also a great time to set up the company. It was very hectic. It is very hectic still. Growing in a startup is no joke. In the mornings, you start doing something. In the evenings, you change the plan. You have to improve every day. And honestly, the staff that is coming every week, we're hiring new persons, and everybody has to adapt to the culture of the company. And it's very important to see how the team aligns. And they have been advising me all the way, like, okay, you need to do this, be careful with this other, make sure that you have a good lawyer, make sure that you have a good accountant, make sure that you have, the support of your family. It's very important.
Definitely, it's very important. I'm very happy to hear this. You mentioned that you're having a new staff joining every week. In light of the current crisis in human resources around the world, how do you find good new team members to join the company?
So we are, first of all, we recruit positions that perhaps are very new to some aviation companies. For instance, we launched a concierge department, but the knowledge and the way that the staff work could be like an operations department, right? Or a flight support department even. We launched flight ambassadors that could be flight attendants, and the way that it works, it could just be a simple flight attendant, but the way that we integrated with the concierge team, they need to know a little bit about hospitality. They need to know a little bit more about customer service. So we had this problem, and we have every week, we have this incognita. The management team always have to come up with new solutions. And right now, the best thing that is happening is that we came up with the best training program. So every person that joins the team has to go for 60 hours of ScanLearn, where they learn FTLs, where they learn a regulation, they learn about the company, they learn everything about operations. They go for Force Travel Guide training as well, which is going into the extra mile of customer service. And we also have many other trainings that they have to go. So pretty much for the first 3 weeks, the staff gets trained, even 1 month. They just get trained in how we do things, because it's completely different to just any other operator or any other company, right? Some pilots that are joining, or some flight attendants that ask us, like, you are managing everything, but you are not an operator, or you are a broker that has an aircraft on dedicated fleet. It's just very dynamic. But I think that's what end users, that's what aircraft owners need, because nowadays the competition is very high. The traditional management, some customers, they don't like it, some customers do, but you have to come up with something new to also expand the market, because there are customers that want to have an aircraft, they want an asset. and they want to go into an operating lease, they want to go into a finance lease, and they just didn't find somebody before that explained them in such an easy way and give them access in such a cost-effective way as well. So that's what we're trying to accomplish here.
You are doing a lot indeed.
Thank you very much.
I wish you all the best. So all these investments, all these efforts, where are you taking Jet Luxe to? Where do you see the company in 5 to 10 years?
To the moon and back, man.
To the moon? Why back?
We have a plan of having 45 aircraft by the end of year 5 of the company. So that's in the next 3 years.
That means you will have 190 partners? 180 partners.
That's correct.
Yeah.
The way that we are growing and the way that we see the company growing is that 1 out of 4 partners that we bring on board will learn the program, will get more interested in the program, and then he will become or she will become an Invictus Patron. Mm-hmm. And that's how we are planning to also expand the market with the current crisis of, residuals of the aircraft that are out there. You need to create more aircraft so that the demand is satisfied. There's not enough aircraft in the market right now, and we want to expand the market and give access to more people. So that's our mission, and our vision is obviously concentrate always on customer service. Customer comes first, but also that means that employees also come first. So our team first approach is what allows us to grow this fast, I guess.
I hope you will be there, and I'm sure with this culture and vision and mission, you will be able to do it. Thank you very much, Gabriel.
Thank you very much, Adnan.
Before we quit, I just have one question. This question always aviapreneurs look forward to it. You're still young, but you're hardworking and you're very successful, and you built a very fast-growing aviation enterprise. Many people would love to follow your path and to achieve what you have achieved. What advice and recommendation do you give them? Do you give to all the listeners who are willing to follow your steps and do something similar?
Wow. To be honest, I think that there's so many paths. There's so many things that happen, especially in the startup. There's so many things that everybody will tell you that are the best for you, right? But launching a company it's such a special thing to every entrepreneur. It's dear to their heart, it's dear to their vision. It has so much of their personality embedded in the company. So my advice would be always to have your objective clear, always have a great support team, always have a great vision, and understand that failure is embedded in every mission that you're launching. So you have to learn how to cope with failure, cope with wrong decisions, and make sure that every time that you make one, you have a plan to recover from it. So, resilience, it's actually one of the things that we have endured so much, and we have obviously learned so much. That's what I would give as advice. Never get defeated, never let it go, make it happen. You have the vision, and that's it.
Very valuable advice. I'm sure if they follow it, they can do wonders. Thank you, Gabriel. I appreciate your time. I appreciate the knowledge and experience shared, and I look forward to seeing you in person soon.
Thank you very much, my friend. See you soon.
Thank you so much. Thank you to all the aviapreneurs following us and listening to today's episode with Gabriel Madrid. I'm sure you will find a lot of gold nuggets in this episode, and I look forward to seeing you again next week with another episode and another amazing aviapreneur from somewhere around the world. Have a great day.